Two Poor Artists, where we're poor at making a series worth watching, but mostly we're poor at making art. I'm Isaac.
My name is Benj. So today we're going to draw our favorite movie series.
Our favorite movie series.
But before that, we should talk about who won in the contest that we had going on.
Yes.
We were supposed to talk about it during our live stream, but we were distracted.
There was so much going
by
on.
how much fans we had.
Yes, we didn't expect anyone to show up.
It definitely wasn't just all hecklers.
We had Muppets and real people and friends and family and that one other guy. It was great.
Yep. But before that, the week before, we put up a post.
Yes,
that,
we drew.
That asked you guys
potluck.
to say who did the better potluck drawing.
And I'm happy to report that after 6 whole votes, see, one day we're going to look back and laugh at that number. 6 whole votes. There's 6 people trying to break into the studio because we have so many fans. Like, one day. But after 6 whole votes, oh, now it just sounds sad. I've got these delusions of grandeur. I won.
4 people voted for Isaac, and 2 people voted for mine.
But really, let's just acknowledge that despite my win, the most impressive thing is that 6 whole people bothered to even click on something.
Yep. We don't normally ask you guys to vote on whose drawing is better.
No, but when they're so close,
we practically drew the same thing, so we're like, hey, may as well see what people think. And you guys all think Isaac's better than me.
Oh, well, I just had a nicer table. Don't say that about yourself. No. It's definitely true, though. There was no nose first nonsense. There was a leprechaun, too. People like leprechauns.
Apparently.
Not as much as kids like dinosaurs, but...
Yeah. If one of us drew dinosaurs.
Yeah, we would have just won, because the kids would have swarmed to the channel and voted. Really, that's what we'll have to do next time.
Yeah. Yep. I messed up my mic. Okay, so today, though, we're going to draw our favorite movie series.
Favorite movie series, which is different than your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Although I would say my favorite movie is part of the favorite movie series, but realistically, that doesn't count.
I don't know if I would. But I'm not going to tell you what my favorite movie series is right away.
You're going to keep it a mystery.
I'm going to see if people can guess after looking at it.
So you told me what you're going to draw today.
Yeah,
we don't always tell each other what we're going to draw, but he told me what his idea was because it's so great. I'd like to just warn you that it's going to be great. And like all movie series, it's got a nose.
Yes. Nose first.
As you do.
The proper way.
Yep. That's how when we go down in art history, that's what the people will chant at our book signing when we're signing the history book.
We're going to give this guy
really big eyebrows.
Little nice.
Imagine if you met someone who had an eyebrow that did that. Like
I think if you saw this guy, you would not assume this was his eyebrows.
Of all the weird medical conditions that exist, do you think there is one that's like
all of your hair is actually your eyebrows?
Well, like just excessive eyebrow growth, like to the point where it grows so long that when you like fall asleep, it gets tangled in your bangs.
I mean, it probably exists.
See, here's the problem. You told me what you're going to draw. I know what your favorite movie series is, and I still am having a hard time understanding what I'm looking at. He just looks like he has a turban of hair.
He has like a fro.
And
then he's got...
I don't know that you've ever seen a fro. That's more like a librarian lady bee nest haircut. But it can't be because it's clearly a dude.
And then he's got...
Or it's like, maybe it's like a woman in the circus. The bearded lady.
Really, I think he has one of those mustaches that like curls.
Is it a woman? No, not a bearded woman.
He's got one of those curly Q mustaches.
So this is the villain, the dastardly villain from the black and white
I'm
cartoons.
gonna make him buff.
Hunchback. Oh, buff. Same thing, really. Quasimodo. Let's just talk about how buff Quasimodo probably would have been for a second.
Mhm.
You're out there every day, multiple times a day, ringing those gigantic bells of Notre Dame. Like, he's just swole. And I'm not just talking about his hump. What? Is his arm reaching under his beard? Oh, he has a tic-tac-toe. Oh, no, it's not a tic-tac-toe.
No, he's just this is his arm hair.
It's quite unfortunate. Looks kind of like Ethan. Our friend Ethan.
Our friend Ethan.
Yeah. Like, if I was going to draw Ethan's arm.
You would draw like this.
Yeah, I would. Shout out to Ethan. We're so glad that you're still our friend. That's kind of like, you know when people like say,
He watched. Our
thank you in
live stream.
advance. This is like, thank you for continuing to be our friend in advance, because I would understand if you had second thoughts after seeing that arm. Although, like,
What?
let's be real. Go look at your arm in the mirror. Okay, you probably don't need a
Are you
mirror.
still talking to Ethan? Our friend Ethan?
Our friend Ethan is not a genie, though, so he doesn't have this hair and beard and mustache combo. You're even drawing a genie lamp. I hate to break it to you, but I don't know if Aladdin counts as... Well, I guess Aladdin could be a series.
Aladdin is
The animated movies?
There's like 4 movies.
Well, there's 3 in a reboot. Like, there was the show, though.
Yeah.
So it could be a series. See, we're not really... we're talking about movie series. We're not talking about, like, television series.
Mm-hmm.
But
got another...
I'll also just tell the
second
audience,
arm.
your favorite movie series is not Aladdin. Despite everything about this drawing so far being Aladdin.
And then we've got this.
We've got Jafar coming out of the... Oh no, there's been a horrible hand accident. Where's his hand? Where's his other hand?
It's behind the thing that I'm drawing right now.
You're drawing like a hookah. Which again, to my knowledge, isn't in your favorite movie series. Do you remember our neighbor growing up who used to sit in his garage and smoke a hookah?
Nope.
And then I learned what one was because of that. Oh, Micah in the corner remembers. No, he's Micah in the corner.
Micah of the
Micah in the corner filling in Josh in the corner's butt print.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fitting because we found someone it fits well.
I think this guy's hair, I think he has like a fro mullet.
Yeah, but we used to have a guy, because Ben and I used to be sort of next door neighbors. There was one house in between us, some Canadians,
Mm-hmm.
and their son, who was older than us, still is older than us.
Have you ever seen a fro mullet?
I have now. But again, I don't know that thing on the top is a fro. It's got too big of curls.
Well, I didn't want to take like an hour.
That guy's hair is magnificent, though. Like, this guy
That
looks like he belongs in Agrabah. Although, apparently, this isn't Aladdin, and that's not the
No.
lamp. Ew, what's happening?
well, this is like a clay pot that he's making.
Well, yeah, I got
and,
that.
He put hair in it.
That would be the worst. But again, we come up with so many things on this channel where I'm like, that is just the grossest art. But then I also think to myself, if we made that, people would come from all over
like
to
if
buy
we just
it.
like made a bad pot with hair all over it,
Like, that's a thing. It
and
would.
then
That's the kind of dumb, quirky stuff that the art community is into. It's like, oh, do you have an original Two Poor Artist pot? They use their own chest hair. And it's like, oh. And then you're like, why was it selling for the price of a small country?
this guy has like a V-neck that goes all the way down to here, and just like hair coming out.
This guy is
everywhere.
gross, and his pot is grosser than him. It's just so nasty. I've always said hair covers a multitude of sins. There's a level of hair that just adds sin. Although, like, this guy from the neck up is the coolest person you've ever drawn. Except for that one guy that you drew. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that guy was.
During my face tutorial,
Yeah.
like how to draw a face.
Your face tutorial guy is the coolest person I've ever
So
seen.
if
This
you
guy's a
guys want
close
to
second.
go learn how to draw a face in the coolest way possible, you should go watch our tutorial video.
I'm gonna do that thing that other cool.
Isaac showed you how to draw hands.
I'll do that thing that all the other cool YouTubers are doing. I've never been able to do this because I've always felt like, there's no reason to. But I'll say I'll put the link at the end of this video.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I can figure that out.
yeah, you probably.
I'll put a link to our drawing tutorial so you can see Ben's two most
You gonna do it-
magnificently.
Are you gonna do it at the end of the video or like just in the description?
I'll do it. No, I'll do it at the end of the video.
Okay.
For those people who stick around and listen to our two disembodied heads chat about how they should share this with their enemies. Yeah, it'll be there. This guy's magnificent. Like everything
So,
except his
Obviously,
V-neck and
you
his
guys
pot.
all now know that I was drawing a Harry Potter.
Oh. See, my parents probably would have let me watch this growing up if this is what it was about. But they'd also probably make me turn it off once they saw the main character. Because he's quite... His creation is quite horrifying. I have questions, though. Like, is it on purpose? Like, because if you're hairy enough...
Right.
And you're making pottery, like you're just gonna get
It's just
your
gonna
hair
have
in it,
hair
especially
all
if you have a
over.
V-neck like that.
Yeah.
Like there's no stopping the amount of hair that's gonna end up in your pottery.
Yeah.
But is he doing it like intentionally?
I think it's both. Like he probably like was he like was becoming a potter like in training, and he's just like there's always hair in it, and then he realized that that's why people liked his pottery, and so now he like puts extra.
Some really sick crowd that he.
Well, it's just everyone has their niche.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Like if he just sold a pot, like how many pots
no.
could you sell?
Again, I get
Even if you make perfect pots every time,
yeah.
like there's so many machine-made pots that are perfect.
See, that's the thing about artistic pottery is that like you either have to be really, really good at it, where like you're better than a robot somehow. Which, let's be honest, I'm not better at a robot at pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Except true art, because no AI, no robot's ever been programmed. The robot literally explodes itself if you try.
Right.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But, this guy is disgusting.
See, I was gonna like talk about my favorite movie series, but there's no reason to.
We get
Everyone
it.
knows.
Everyone except my parents. And that's it. There's probably other parents out there that haven't seen Harry Potter.
Yeah, maybe. But
But
it's
probably not.
Probably a small few.
Yep. This is, if you don't know, this is pretty much what the movie's
Yeah.
about. Like
you don't need to know anything.
I don't
this.
even need to point out the fact that there's probably a dude who looks sort of like this in the movie named Hagrid.
He probably makes.
If he made pottery, it would be terrifying. Like, because, man, your guy is so cool. Like, he could be a professor at Hogwarts. The pottery professor.
It's truly magic.
This is the guy that made the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
The hairy Goblet of Fire.
It's a different one. You
Yeah.
guys didn't see.
Yeah. They use it for like how there's like levels of sports, like varsity is the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
Like freshman goblet is the hairy goblet.
Yeah.
It's not even the hairy Goblet of Fire.
The goblet
hairy,
of hair.
The Goblet of Hair. It's quite horrifying. You have to pluck your hair out and stick it in the goblet. And every game you have to compete in involves hair.
Yep.
Like
You
have to brew a hair potion.
You definitely want to get to the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
level.
Yeah. Although, let's be honest, we'd all watch a version of the Goblet of Fire competition, the Tri-Wizard tournament that was hair themed.
Yep. Like instead of the maze at the end, it's like a hair
It's just
maze.
the hair maze. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's just like trying to walk through a barber shop after a week of when the broom is out of order.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a horrifying barber. Like that's another thing that could be a thing. There could be a barber shop and they're like, there's a lot of barber shops. They all sweep. Our barber shop, hair everywhere.
That's why you come here.
Yeah, it's like an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever been touched by the hair of 10,000 other people? Well, now you can. Not only that, you can leave your hair and be the 10,001st hair pile. And again, like, some celebrity would pay like $1 trillion for that nonsense.
Yep.
Not like $1 trillion, like like $1 trillion Canadian dollars.
Are they that much weaker than our dollar?
I'm going to assume, yeah, because how much weaker is Canada than the United States, right? Like, come on, Canadians. Start working out your army. Anyway.
Yep, that's their problem. Their army doesn't work.
Army is just, Anyway, I think as much as I'd love to honestly, like, I want to frame your guy. I'll crop out the gross pot that he's making, but this dude and your other dude from your tutorial video need to meet up.
Yeah, I've noticed that, like, this hand, because it's supposed to be behind the pot.
It's just bent down.
He's bending it in a very specific way.
That or the hand bangler went too far and this guy no longer has it. That's another thing that would probably be cool in the art community. I'm a handless potter. Pottery made without hands. You know? Like, it looks terrible, but like, because it was made by a dude who lost his hands to like frostbite or something, people, and by people I mean like famous people, like rich people who don't know what to do with their money, would buy it.
And they just really want
It's the same people, for the record, that are buying elephant paintings. If you have a painting hanging in your house that was painted by an elephant, it's time to seek help from us.
Yes, we can paint something not by an elephant. It will look worse.
It will, but you can be prouder of it.
Because a human did it.
Yeah, it's not just like literal chance.
Yeah.
Or like, the ones that always get me are the ones that people claim elephants painted that look like an elephant, as if an elephant has the dexterity or brain power to paint a self-portrait. You're like, sure, the elephant painted it. When you duct taped the paintbrush to its trunk and held it in your own hands and painted, like, it's like animal cruelty painting, really.
You could probably train an elephant to do it. Like,
again, though, should you?
Yeah, when we
not that I said that before, but like, you're thinking
an elephant.
Yeah, seriously, why are you impressed when an elephant can draw an elephant? Like, 2-year-olds can draw elephants. We can draw slightly worse than the 2-year-olds.
Yeah,
and that's what makes it interesting. But anyway, I'm going to draw my series now. I'm not going to keep ranting about,
Let's see what you
elephant paintings. Don't get me just started on that. All right, I was originally going to tell everybody my favorite movie series, but I think it's more fun this way. Like, who would have guessed Harry Potter from a really hairy looking genie dude?
Yeah,
sure, everyone at home who was
a Harry Potter potting a Harry Pot.
Yeah, it's terribly gross. Let's move on. But you're gonna have a harder time guessing mine, I think, at least at first, because I don't even know what I'm gonna draw. So good luck. All right, let's start with. A nose.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Nose first strategy.
I know, you can be proud. Followed up with not a nose.
Yep. You then do eyes next, which is usually how I do it. So this is different. Oh, there's those classic Isaac square eyes.
It's got rounded. It's rounded on one side, which it's actually confusing me quite a bit because I don't really know what to do with this now.
That eye's just like bulging out.
Yeah, it's not good, but it's okay. My guy, I already hate him. Like, This guy's a jerk. He's like a guy who drags you to a poetry reading, and he's the only one reading, and it's in an alley.
I think he looks like Ferb's dad.
Oh, yeah, he kind of does look like that, doesn't he? What a jerk.
But also Ferb's
Not
dad's
Ferb's dad, though. He's kind of
the kind of guy that would do what you just said too, because he's like an antique salesman. He's
he's a very quirky individual. That's what makes him so lovable. He's also oblivious to the world around him.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how antique salesmen are. You know, you've met them.
Is that this guy's hair?
No. That's all I'm going to say about that.
The floating.
It'll either become more clear
Mm-hmm.
or it won't.
Right. Yep. That's usually how it works.
Just
As you
know,
add lines.
just know I'm not terribly upset with what I've done. Unless that changes, then I'll.
Is that his head?
No,
Because it's so wide
it's not his head.
compared to his face.
It's his crown.
Like, his face seems like real far to the left.
It's also very weird shaped.
Yeah. And because you drew him looking to the right, but then you drew the head as if he's looking to the left.
Uh-huh. It's a thing.
And the crown isn't the right size for his body.
He knows that. He's okay with that.
And he's also a cup with handles.
On the Cup King. My favorite movie series.
Yeah.
Cup King.
We were doing a TV series. I might believe this was like an Adventure Time character.
Yeah, he's just a really bad looking version of what I was going for. So just know that that's what's happening. He also has to have really crazy mustache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy mustaches are just
Part of our
more
favorite
fun.
movies. Uh-huh.
No perfect movie series is complete without crazy mustaches.
Yeah. These are earrings.
Mm-hmm.
Be concerned.
They're not like his hair, like braids
Yeah. Nope, they're earrings
and nose rings.
and nose rings. And he has. Yeah, I gotta make this a little longer. He has like a ring on his mustache. It's really weirdly shaped. Really stiff mustache.
Mm-hmm.
You don't understand the prep. You have to be royalty to get mustaches that are. What else can you pierce? Oh, I didn't give him lips, or I could have pierced those. Oh well, it'll do. We'll just put some. Well, you know what? We'll come back to. Yeah. That's a vein.
Oh, okay. So it's like he has like a pretty buff neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll go with that. Also give him a big V.
Mm-hmm. You have chest hair coming out of his.
We'll see how much I need to distract from the rest of the drawing later. If I need to distract from like his hands or his feet or his arms or the rest of his body or anything else I decide, then there'll be a lot of chest hair coming out of that small opening.
I see.
But so far, not a need. It's always a point like this in the drawing where it's like, I know it looks terrible, but if I just stopped here, it can't get worse.
Right.
So like, do you just end?
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Nope. We carry on. And people suffer for it.
Don't they ever. It's just a fact of art.
Is he like in his pajamas?
See, you might think that, but no. It's just the royal style.
Like tattered clothes? Are you sure he wasn't like on a shipwreck?
Not yet. Not yet. You never quite know. Those are legs.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna just draw some circles.
Like for his patchy clothes.
No,
that
it's not
are
patchy.
ripped to shreds.
They're gold embroidered.
Why are they tattered at the bottom?
Not tattered. It's just the royal style.
They're not even or anything.
Don't have to be.
So royal. I guess if people are paying a couple $100 for ripped jeans nowadays,
Go
back
look at
then,
any style of rich people and tell me if it makes even the slightest bit of sense. You ever see Kanye West style where he has like a shirt and in the middle he just like took a cookie cutter to it and cut out a hole and he sells it for like $4,000? It's just like a t-shirt with a hole in the middle.
well,
These aren't holes, at least.
better than Justin Bieber's pants.
Justin Bieber's diaper pants are the worst thing of all fashion of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Micah, you don't think so? Micah has seen things. There's a look in his eyes like, oh, you guys, you feel blessed that you haven't seen what he's seen. Man, just the look that I saw was quite unfortunate. Okay. Now we draw. See, there's gonna need to be chest hair.
What is on this guy's head?
It's a crown.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's just a special crown. You'll see in a minute.
Okay.
Okay. First, the rings. Lots. So it has like a ruby, diamond, amethyst. That one's a charcoal ring. It's cool, I've been told. This one's one of those wood rings. That was his mother's ring. He didn't give it to his wife when they got married because he kept it for himself.
Mm-hmm, that makes sense.
And this guy's kingdom.
Well, it doesn't, because this guy getting married doesn't really make sense.
He's the king. He's rich. It's another big ring.
Like the king of tattered clothes.
He's not the king of tattered clothes. He's the...
With holes all over.
No, you'll understand one day. Maybe. There's rings on here too. Kind of, it's like a ring toss game. You know, the ones you play at like the carnivals and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, there's rings. And there's like some flying through the air.
Who's throwing them?
His manservant.
It's like he likes them being thrown at him.
Yeah.
It's not just like something the peasants do.
No.
But he walks
No, this
around.
is like something he commands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got his rings. Lots of rings.
Is that like how he collects taxes? It's like, you must melt down your gold into ring form and throw it upon my crown.
I think that's quite fitting, actually. Let's draw something more tattered. Let's see. Just give him some, like, you know the kind of shoes your brother wears where it looks like a hobo? Gosh, that foot is so bad looking. There's rings on his shoes, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a thing. Just like ring. Oh, this foot is so gross looking.
What about...
I didn't mean for this guy.
Why'd you even draw feet? Should have just
You're right.
had it go off screen.
There's like rings,
Like stapled onto his pants.
like sewn in. Yeah, you know how you do. Gold. These are gold.
Mm-hmm.
They're not donuts. Calling this king Donut King is like,
Oh, so your favorite movie series is Sonic the Hedgehog with the Donut Lord.
oh, see, that would actually make a lot of sense with the gold rings and stuff. And there are 2 movies in that series now.
Yep.
But no, believe it or not,
Yep.
no, this is, I'm just going to say it now. This is the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. He has just so many rings. Like, you hear this guy coming from like miles away, just the jingle jangle of his like, you know, is that Santa Claus? Nope, that's the Lord of the Rings. Don't forget it. It's different than Jingle Bells.
So, like, is he a king of a kingdom? Or is he, like, just a separate position?
He's the Lord of the Rings. He has a kingdom.
The Ring Kingdom.
A ring kingdom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He calls it Middle Earth because of the middle of a ring. Yeah. His whole kingdom is like the shape of a ring. He always...
Did you know in one of the comics, the reason that Sonic is so fast is because he collected enough rings that the gods blessed him?
I did not know that. He has like a hula hoop on at all times.
As any Lord of the Rings would.
Yeah.
See, like, when I first watched Lord of the Rings, I was expecting this guy to come out.
See, like I think most people
Like,
are.
I'm like, where's the Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, because... And you're like, wait, the Lord of the Rings is kind of like it's Sauron, the bad guy.
Yeah.
He only had
But
one ring, though.
He
Like,
can't be Lord of the Rings
yeah,
when he only has
the
one
Lord of the
ring.
Ring, maybe. But why?
Yeah.
There's only like one ring. Like, you hear about other rings.
You never
I guess
see
Gandalf and Galadriel have other rings, but
like, you don't even see them, and they don't ever play a part.
you know that the Nazgul all had a ring, but you never see their rings.
No. It's just the one ring.
Yeah, and they even call it the One Ring.
Yeah,
Like,
because there's only one.
someone got the naming wrong.
Yeah. It should be Lord of the Rings.
But anyway, let's see. What else does the Lord of the Rings have in his kingdom? I bet he has one of those, like, you know, when you go to the circus before people deemed circuses, I don't know what they call it, like racist or whatever they call them now, like animal cruel. Like, you can have a circus, but no fun.
Yeah. Like, if you do anything that would be at a circus.
Yeah, it's like, oh, freak shows?
Yeah. No, you can't do that. Animals, you can't do that.
Imagine
Clowns, everyone's afraid of them now.
Imagine trying to get a bearded lady in the freak show in today's world. You'd be like,
Yep.
people would be like, yeah, I'm not gonna say what they'd say. It wouldn't go over well. Let's just put it that way. There's something wrong with that part of the ring. You know why? Because it's on fire. Fire. Yeah, Mike is right. Like, we don't need freak shows to go see the weird stuff anymore. You just turn on the news.
Yeah.
Fire.
You can, like, just watching YouTube. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's true. YouTube
You
is
see all the freaks you want.
Modern day freak show. So he has like a flaming ring that sometimes he jumps through because he's the Lord of the Rings. Darn it, you know, like
he's not afraid of any flaming rain.
his peons, the people throw. And then, you know how in some kingdoms you have people who are like, show your reverence to the king and kiss his ring. People still do this with the Pope today, and you just are like, you know how many lips have been on that ring?
You can probably clean the ring.
But you know how gross it is to kiss another person's ring?
I don't. I've never done it.
Neither have I, because it's gross and no one does it. Like, imagine if that's how we showed respect to, like, our boss nowadays. Come into my office for our meeting, but first, kiss my ring, you peon. Yeah, you'd be like, I quit. This is stupid. You know how many other people have kissed your ring? And he'd be like, no, to you? And he'd be like, no, because I've never kissed a ring. It's gross. But this is not that age. This is the time and age when people would still do that.
Now I need to become a boss of a company and make people kiss my ring when they come into my
I
office.
think you would be canceled by your employees. Like, not even like outside groups. Like, no employee reading through the like the like, you know, like the human resources guide would be like, wait, what's this section? Ring kissing. Daily ring kissing to show my respect. I don't know. It's a good job. It pays really well. But no, I'm not doing it. Let the ring kissing
I was
begin.
hoping you'd use the word commence.
Oh, you should have said something. That would have been better. Now it just looks gross because it doesn't use the word commence. Yeah. Let the ring kissing begin, and then there's like the
You could consider him like a ring leader.
oh puns. Yeah, but he's not. He's the Lord of the Rings.
Yep.
Yeah, you get dangerous. Yeah, the people don't like the ring kissing.
Because it's gross.
Well, yeah, but also look at how many rings this guy has. They're gonna be here all day.
I wouldn't really consider that a pun. There's literally a rain in the background, and the ringleader.
Yeah, the ringleader is like the circus guy. Like this is
Yeah.
It's like calling a ringleader a pun when it's literally a job to hold. It's just not a
the
pun.
ringleader. Well, what makes the ringleader in a circus the ringleader? Is it because there's flaming rings behind him, or because the middle of a circus tent is circular and he stands in the ring?
I think it's that one.
That one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what this is.
This
This guy's kingdom is like
At a
ring
circus.
shaped. His castle's ring shaped. He wears rings.
Yeah.
His
He
clothes
has
are covered in
flaming
rings. He
rings.
has rings like tied, like on
this
his
guy
shoes.
clearly is just the leader of some circus.
Yeah, but like no.
But
This is like what
the circus is the kingdom.
this is what inspires circuses in the future.
Okay.
Like back in the the second age of man,
Mhm.
like Lord of the Rings is like
There's the ring kingdom.
the Ring Kingdom of Gondor.
Drawings today are actually pretty good.
I thank you, Mike. They're actually not the worst things we've ever drawn, which is saying quite a bit because one is gross and the other one is gross. But not. It could be worse. You're right. But yeah, like this, and then like later in like like the third age of man began, and the Ring King, the Lord of the Rings, was defeated by the King of the Hypotenuse. Like the Triangle Kingdom, built
Mhm.
pyramids and stuff, and because
Yeah.
triangles have a hypotenuse. That was a math thing.
And so like circles became a joke.
Yeah.
So circuses.
So circles, yeah, he commanded, now we have circuses. Well, what do we do with the circuses? People have to hula hoop for our amusement and make people jump through the rings of fire and set up a game where we throw rings onto pegs like the Lord of the Rings old crown, Let's wear stupid outfits like the Lord of the Rings did,
yeah.
Gypsies will run it and they all wear lots of jewelry.
Yeah.
Like,
And the person
tell me
in
this
charge will
didn't
be
inspire.
called the ringleader.
The ringleader, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like circuses were made to make fun of this guy.
Yeah.
So that's why he seems so ridiculous to us now.
Uh-huh.
He was cool back then.
Yeah, he was this guy. You were in awe of the Lord of the Rings. Like you know, like people are there to kiss the rings,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's like, oh man, it's gonna be all day because he wore that outfit. Like some days there's less, some days you don't even want to know how much kissing there's gonna be. Anyway, what did you write as your title? Did you write?
I wrote Harry Potter.
Okay, I'm gonna write. So I write. Okay.
Yeah. Because the picture I drew is titled Harry Potter.
Mhm. This if you watched like a like a weird like B movie like the Bollywood Lord of the Rings,
Mm-hmm.
this might be what you get.
Yeah, it could be.
Like, and would you be disappointed? A
Yeah.
little, but then you'd probably get over it because of how great this is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be good.
I mean, if like Greatest Showman
Mm-hmm.
beat like the B version of that, they call it Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings, it's basically the Greatest Showman mixed with this guy.
Yeah,
No one would complain.
like Greatest Showman, but in the past.
Like, why hasn't this been made? Anyway, let's talk about this next part here, because
Mm-hmm.
I finally caught up to you,
Yeah.
and I've had a birthday, and I get to write age 31.
Yep. Welcome to the club.
Yep.
Over 30.
I hope you can see that with age comes lots and lots of rings.
Yep, that's what they say.
There's a lot of ways you could take that, but I think it's pretty clear. Just look at the drawing. That guy's 31 years old.
Yep,
You know,
obviously.
I was gonna give him hair
Mm-hmm.
because his crown is but it's too late now. So
Yeah.
he's just like bald. He probably wears like he is kind of wearing pajamas. It's kind of like a weird, like Native American outfit in a way. With like I feel like there's like cowboy or Native American pants that have rings on it like that. And he's wearing shoes that no homeless man would be caught dead in. Unless your brother was homeless.
Yeah, this guy's fashion sense is not good.
Yeah, it's not. But that's what you get when you're the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
The greatest movie series of all time. So if you haven't seen The Lord of the Rings, don't when you just promise me this, because you're gonna watch it now, because that's my advice. That's how it works.
Because people listen to our advice all the time.
They do. That's my advice for the week.
That's why
Watch
we
Lord of the Rings.
That's why we.
But
own
don't
hotels
try.
now.
Just be prepared when you turn it on, and it's like cool. Don't be disappointed that it's not this,
Mm-hmm.
because this is obviously not the real Lord of the Rings. Well, I mean, it is the real Lord of the Rings.
Right.
You'll watch the Lord of the Ring
Yeah.
and the little hobbit that carries it,
Mhm.
but just try not to be too disappointed. That's the one thing I worry about with our art sometimes. That people will take it too seriously. And then when real life rolls around, it'll slap them upside the face with what they call a reality check.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of those big checks that they use for the lottery,
Right.
except it says reality on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a long awkward pause just to get that picture in your head. But thanks for joining us today. Thanks for voting on my potluck as the best one. And I hope that when you get around this fall and you're tucked in your houses and you're cozy by the fire with your blankie and your slippers, and you sit down to rewatch your favorite movie series, that you'll remember us.
Mm-hmm. But like, don't turn off your favorite movie series and watch us.
Yeah,
We're not as good as your favorite movie series.
Go watch Lord of the Rings or something worth your time.
Bye.
Bye. As always, we're surprised you made it this far into our video.
There's no way we could possibly ask you to subscribe to this atrocity, so we won't.
We would say share it with your friends, but it's probably better for wasting your enemy's time.
We're probably not going to get any better, but we will keep drawing.
See you next time.